Greetings, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. And the Nationals are going to the World Series edition of the Arlington Weekly News for October 2019. Thanks for joining us. I'm Craig Nolan.
And I'm Inga Middleton.
And here we go with, as I mentioned before, our World Series edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. And did I mention the Nationals are going to the World Series? Here we go, our usual rundown of stuff here, our news and community bulletin board. A roll-in, yes, we do have a roll-in. Two Blue Band is here. Yep. Also CBB, as I may or may not have mentioned. Denise is here talking about Disenchanted, Take Two, Disenchanted, the play, I guess, our News for Seniors segment. Yep. And then a roll-in from our styrofoam mom, Miriam Gennari, and she's talking with Jolene, who is it? Oh, Mafnas. I'm sorry, Jolene, about something, and we'll tell you more about that as time rolls along here. But that's our show. Before we begin, a social media reminder. Do you know about the social media reminder?
I don't have it memorized, but...
You can check us out on YouTube. Just look for the number, punch in the number 1 on the YouTube channel, and we're also on the radio at WERA 96.7 LPFM. Check us out, the audio from our little show here. So here we go with the first of our news stories. Well, there have been recent reports of residents receiving unsolicited telephone calls from people claiming to be technicians from Dominion Energy. The callers tell the victims that they have overdue bills which must be paid immediately. Then the callers threaten to disconnect the power if the payment is not made. The victims are then given a fraudulent claim number and telephone number, which results in a demand for payment via a prepaid debit or gift card. So anyone who wishes to verify the status of their account and find out more about this scam operation, call Dominion Energy directly at, and this is important now, 1-866-366-4357, and they'll be able to straighten that out for you. Inga.
Thank you. That's kind of scary. Great.
Yes, indeed.
Arlington residents can reduce their risk of becoming a scam victim with the help of the following scam prevention tips. If you have caller ID, check before answering, but remember that it may be inaccurate. Be wary of unsolicited telephone calls. Be wary of a caller who wants a prepaid debit card or a gift card for payment. It is as difficult to recover as cash. Do not provide personal information or money to anyone with whom you do not have ties and did not initiate contact. Never rely on a telephone number provided to you as a basis for verification of the caller. Finally, trust your instincts. If something seems wrong about the call, simply hang up. Scam attempts can be reported to the Emergency Communication Center at 703-558-2222. Craig.
All right, Inga. Also in our news items, well, the Arlington Independent Media Fall Fund Drive has officially ended. It ended on Sunday, October 13, but even if you missed the date, you still haven't missed the boat. Donations and contributions will still be gratefully accepted, and you can do that by going online to www.arlingtonmedia.org, and you can also give us a call here at the studio, 703-524-2388, and you can stop by our studios here as well, and while you're at it, maybe bring your checkbook. Inga.
Thank you very much, Craig. One of the writers at Arl Now has finally noticed that something we've been wondering about for some time now. The upcoming arrival of Amazon's secondary headquarters will bring a large number of new residents to Arlington, and the J.B.G. Smith Development Company has made plans for a number of new apartments. However, there are no plans yet for any additional schools to accommodate the children of our new residents. The promise of a relatively high-paying jobs will tend to attract families as opposed to low-paying jobs which can only support individuals. Even of the initial surge consists of mostly younger workers. They are more likely to start families than seniors. It is encouraging that RL Now is also calling attention to this matter.
All right, thank you, Inga. And we'll be back with CBB, our Community Bulletin Board file, right after we hear a little music from Two Blue Band. Check it out.
Hey everybody, we're Two Blue Band. Alan Harvard on guitar, Andy on harp, saxes, and vocals. Mary on bass. We're going to start with a song that Andy and I wrote about his 55 DeSoto. It's about named after the grill, a wide chrome grin. Okay, 2, 3, 4.
She got an old school Hemi and a Delta lane. Too damn heavy, she won't go too fast. Power flight treader with the 373, a V8 M for the world to see. She sips down the oil, but she does as again. The mile 57, DeSoto Venture, hard time. She stuck with me through thick and thin. Good times, bad times, you ain't gonna stop. Smoking down a white chrome grill. Two 4-barrel carbs sit on a Pearl V8. 345 horses make my heart race. She's sitting there pretty in black, white, and gold. I fire up my baby, just don't ever get old. Cruising down the pike, way a Mopar fashion plate. She mile 57, DeSoto Venture, hard times. She stuck with me through thick and thin. Good time, bad time, she ain't gonna stop. Smoking down a white chrome grill. So keep your hybrid and your riser too. I'm driving the car, make your dreams come true. So if the chrome starts to pit and I can't afford the gas, I just leave it parked and remember they pass. A 57 Hemi, turn the gray sky blue. She mile 57, DeSoto Venture, hard times. She stuck with me through thick and thin. Good times, bad times, she ain't gonna stop. Sporting out a white chrome grill.
That's not all that bad. All right, thanks. Two Blue Band. Two Blue Band. And what was that one? Wide Chrome Grin. Sounds familiar. And by the way, did I mention the Nationals are going to the World Series? Check it out. Here we go, as promised now, our CBB Community Bulletin Board file. Still haven't decorated for Halloween yet? Well, there's still time. This event can help adults ages 18 and older, and they'll be able to use wire and clay to make their very own spooky Halloween decorations. Come make a diorama, a sculpture, or whatever your fancy will allow. Whatever strikes your fancy. Registration is required. All supplies will be provided. This FRWE free event is happening on Wednesday, October 23rd from 7 to 8:30 p.m. in the Campbell Room at Shirlington Branch Library, 4200 Campbell Avenue. For more information and to register online, give them a call at the number on your screen now, 703-228-6545. Inga.
Thank you, Craig. Challenge Her is a networking event to help small businesses owned by women grow into the field of federal contracting. There will be plenty of networking opportunities for business owners, as well as training sessions and a keynote speaker. Come hungry, as breakfast will be provided.
Oh, I like that.
And remember to bring lots of business cards. This is all taking place on Thursday, October 24th from 8 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. at Doubletree by Hilton, 300 Army Navy Drive. Registration begins at 8 a.m. Seating is limited, so get there early.
All right, some more information now on the Halloween season. Halloween celebrations continue with Arlington's first ever Pumpkin Walk. This spooky trek down the trail at Glen Carlin Park will feature a variety of lighted pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns on display for everyone to enjoy. There'll also be plenty of Halloween-themed activities at the community center to enjoy after the walk. This FRW-free event is great for all ages and abilities. This is all taking place on Saturday, October 26th from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Nature Center at Arlington Mill Community and Senior Center at 909 South Dinwiddie Street. Stop by or give them a call and check it out. And that sounds like a lot of fun.
It sure does.
Inga.
Thank you. That sounds like a lot of fun. I better not miss that. Opera Nova's annual brunch is returning once again in 2019. Founded in 1992, Arlington's Opera Nova was the first opera company in all of Virginia, and they have been exposing both kids and adults about opera ever since. This year's brunch is a fundraiser to support their upcoming production of the children's opera Monkey See, Monkey Do. This event is a great way to meet new people, learn about the company, and support classical arts right here in Arlington. This event is taking place on Sunday, October 27th at 12 noon at the Washington Golf and Country Club, 3017 North Glebe Road. For reservations, you can contact the Opera Nova offices at mcdm1@verizon.net or by calling 703-536-7557. Thanks to Jordan Kuharski for this week's CBB Stories.
All right, you bet. Thanks, Jordan. We appreciate it. And we'll be back. Don't go away. There's more to come on this edition, the Super Bowl, the World Series. Nats are going to the World Series edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News, so stick around for that. And we'll be back after we hear from Denise and Miriam and their thoughts on The Disenchanted. Here's Denise.
Got Nats on the
Hi, this is Miriam Gennari reporting for Denise Pringle. Creative Cauldron in Falls Church begins its 11th season with Denise Giacchino's Disenchanted. It is a musical review that highlights some of the fairy tale princesses that have found themselves featured as leading ladies in Disney's blockbuster films. However, rather than telling the happily ever after version of their lives as they've been portrayed on the big screen, these princesses tell their stories from their own hilarious points of view. If you're thinking that this sounds like family fun and sure to be something your little princess might love, beware. This is a very adult-only show. The princesses sing their woes, being depicted as highly sexualized, somewhat dim-witted females waiting around for our prince to come along and give purpose to their lives. Candace Shedd Thompson as Snow White looks familiar with her puffy sleeves, corseted bodice, and frothy skirt, although she favors sturdy boots over dainty pumps that we might expect. The resemblance ends there. She is fed up with hearing dwarves whistling. She's a strict taskmaster with the sole purpose of getting this show up and running on time. She is joined on stage by Cinderella, Molly Romberger, as the innocent, natural-born scene stealer. She's adorable, from her shiny glass slippers to her signature princess pale taffeta frock and blonde braid coiled into a bun secured with a crown. Boy, can she milk the audience for a ton of laughs when she consumes one tiny chocolate kiss. Karen Kelleher is Sleeping Beauty, who frequently dozes on stage, almost to forfeit her opportunity to sing her song. They are joined by Sally Horton as Pocahontas in an uproarious musical number that laments the way their bosoms are exploited. Amber Gibson as the Little Mermaid, who laments trading her tail for legs, and Ashley Nicholas as the princess who kissed the frog round out the cast. We can only imagine the laughter when the director and the choreographer, Matt Connor, blocked the show and Maggie Jarvis, the scenic costume designer, first put jugs on Pocahontas. Disenchanted plays at the Creative Cauldron through October 27th. Join the princesses as they tell their tales with a decidedly different slant. They'll shatter your treasured memories of what happened once upon a time and make you howl with laughter, even though sexism is not funny. Reporting for Denise Pringle, this is Miriam Gennari. Back to the news desk.
5K
Uh-huh.
or 10K.
Oh, my goodness.
And then
Thanks for the cue. We're back. I was just cleaning my News for Seniors glasses here. Thanks. As you may have noticed, that wasn't Denise. It was Miriam sitting in for Denise, I guess. Thanks, Miriam.
Yeah.
And her thoughts on the Disenchanted. Okay, News for Seniors glasses in place. Here we go. As promised, now News for Seniors. Well, the Virginia Department of Health is providing 200 free flu shots on a first-come, first-served basis. This is part of the county's required public health emergency preparedness exercise. Older adults are susceptible to complications from the flu virus, so you can get your free flu shot on Thursday, October 24, between 10 a.m. and 12 noon at Langston Brown. They're located at 2121 North Culpeper Street, right there at Culpeper and Lee Highway. For more information and to find out more about it, give them a call at this number, 703-228-6300. Inga.
Thank you, Craig. Staff personnel from Bike Arlington will lead a 3-hour class designed to teach adults how to ride a bike. You can start by learning balance and then proceed at your own pace through starting, stopping, pedaling, and turning. Bicycles and helmets will be provided. This event takes place on Friday, October 23rd from 8 to 11 a.m. at the Arlington Mill Senior Center, located at 909 South Dinwiddie Street. Register early by calling 703-228-7369. Craig.
And also in our News for Seniors segment, there'll be an interactive exploration of famous artists and their unique and sometimes secretive techniques. Jen Drobilen, community arts programmer, will discuss artists' methods and give attendees a chance to experience their unique techniques with a hands-on activity session. That's coming up on Wednesday, beginning October 23rd through Wednesday, November 13, from 4:30 to 5:30 in the PM portion of the day at Langston Brown Community and Senior Center, located at 2121 North Culpeper Street. More information at this number, 703-228-228-6300. Inga.
Very nice, Craig. Thank you. Just Playing Country Music Group is looking for musicians and singers to join their popular group. The group plays traditional mountain music, plus Irish, folk, and blues. They play on the first and third Mondays and every Friday at the Lee Senior Center, located at 5722 Lee Highway. For more information, call 703-228-0555. And you, Craig.
All right, also in our News for Seniors segment, well, cornhole toss, also known as beanbag toss, is becoming more and more popular. And it's even an event now in the Northern Virginia Senior Olympics. It's also a lawn game in which players take turns throwing bags filled with beans or corn at a raised platform with the hole in the far end. Cornhole is also played indoors. An official practice will take place Tuesday, October 22nd from 1 to 3 in the afternoon at Arlington Mills Senior Center. They're located at 909 South Dinwiddie Street. More information at this number, 703-228-7369. And as always, thanks to Judy Masabny of OSEP, Office of Senior Programs, for sending us these announcements. Thanks, Judy. We appreciate it. We'll be back with sign off and bye-bye right after we hear from our Styrofoam mom. Here's Miriam Gennari and another installment of her Sustainable Scoop. Miriam.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm so happy to have Jolene Mafnas with us today. She is the Virginia organizer for Food and Water Action. Welcome, Jolene.
Hi Miriam, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Well, food and water, these are very, very basic needs, but it's a little bit more complicated than that if you want clean water and safe food, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is. Well, I guess I should start off with Food and Water Action and who we are. We're not just food and water. There's a lot to it. We work on a variety of issues. We're a national environmental organization, but all of these issues have one common theme, which is that governments should not choose profit over people. And profit being corporations, industries whose business practices and activities jeopardize and compromise community health and wellness, and that naturally just falls in line with water issues, fracking issues, agricultural issues because of the pollution, things like that. That's kind of who we are as an organization. And one of our main things that we really pride ourselves on is to engage grassroots organizations to reclaim their political power and make sure they feel empowered to take on these corporations and make sure that governments hold them accountable for their pollution.
And I believe that you guys did a wonderful job during the climate march and the strike, bringing people together. What was that like?
So we actually just supported the climate strikes. They're a main effort behind Greta Thunberg, which is a great symbolic figure for where we are in the climate crisis. Food and Water Action does their own thing in support of what Greta represents, but I guess our main issue in Virginia, just to tie it back to the state, is we want to push the state to 100% clean renewable energy by 2035 and to have a fossil fuel moratorium, fossil fuels being natural gas, coal plants, and things like that, and just making sure they're all suspended since, you know, we need to prioritize a 100% clean renewable transition by 2035.
And that will not only protect our food and water, but it will also protect our planet and us as individuals. Here in Arlington, we have such great news to share. By 2035, our government here in the county has decided that they're going to go carbon neutral. They're not going to use fossil fuels anymore. But it's not enough to even just sit on our laurels here in Arlington. There are things happening around the state that we need to be aware of. So tell me about those things.
Yes, I mean, you know, I guess when you're in Northern Virginia, you don't really think, it's kind of a bubble in a sense, but there are a lot of environmental fights going on around the state that this area really needs to be aware about. For example, there's Atlantic Coast Pipeline and Mountain Valley Pipeline, these two gigantic 42-inch pipelines going through various communities, uprooting their land, polluting their water. And, you know, in the Mountain Valley area and the Atlantic Coast area, there have been vocal support against these pipelines, but they're still continuing because, you know, in order to get movement in the state legislature, the whole state has to be behind that. And Northern Virginia isn't completely absent of it. In fact, there's another proposed pipeline coming to Prince William County and Fauquier counties called the Transcontinental Southeastern Trail Expansion, which will do a 42-inch in diameter pipe, which is pretty huge. And it's going to be 8 miles long. And, you know,
it's going to require a lot of people to organize and raise their voices, reaching out to legislators and talking about, you know, how can we have even possibly discuss a Green New Deal when we're planning new pipelines and fracking here in the state of Virginia.
Exactly. And I think another aspect of the whole pipeline issue that Food and Water Action really wants to highlight is that the utility company behind these pipelines is not for renewable energy by supporting these pipelines. So when I say utility company, I'm talking about Dominion Energy, which is kind of the not the only provider, but the majority provider of energy in this area. And there have been reports that they're leading an offshore wind farm and things like that, or they're helping with electric school bus campaigns. But they're also funding Atlantic Coast Pipeline, one of the largest natural gas pipelines that are going through this nation. And they're also, they enacted a law that puts a cap on solar capacity for third-party providers, and that's actually, Fairfax County is facing an obstacle with that because they want to do 40 megawatts of solar, and Dominion's cap is 50 megawatts, and it is in regards to third parties on their territory.
So what makes me very optimistic, even though that sounds like an over-daunting task, but what makes me optimistic is the young people that are leading the charge in Fairfax County, in Arlington, around the state. They are telling Dominion and other corporations and businesses that their expectation is that they are going to meet these deadlines and that they are going to produce energy clean. So how do people support your organization and find out more about it so that they can join you and share their support for your work?
Yeah, so we have various events in the areas. We've hosted volunteer action nights to kind of think of strategies specifically to oppose the Transco pipeline I talked about earlier, but also this other new proposed pipeline, Mountain Valley Pipeline Southgate Extension down in Pittsylvania County. And we also have a newsletter that goes out with all of our actions. People can sign up at foodandwateraction.org as well.
They should absolutely do that. And then if they can, they should volunteer. And I think, if anything, if you're not able to do that, you can certainly donate at the website, right?
Yes, you can definitely donate. But yeah, if they want to get in touch with me personally as well, that is also great. We have an LTE campaign right now to get kind of the awareness around the pipelines. We're planning to do canvassing, things like that, information sessions. We really need to mobilize because climate crisis.
Absolutely. There's no waiting any longer. Well, I want to thank you so much for the work you're doing here in Arlington, in Northern Virginia, and around the state. And I look forward to all of our guests going to foodandwateraction.org and learning how they can help. I'm Miriam Gennari. That's the Sustainable Scoop. Back to the news desk.
All right, thanks, Miriam. Good job. We
Nice
appreciate
job.
it. And once again, in case you haven't noticed, the Washington Nationals are going to the World Series. Congratulations to Davey Martinez and the whole crew, everybody, Mike Rizzo on down, all the players. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. And also, we should mention...
Congratulations to the Mystics of the WNBA for their championship winning.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Way to go, Mystics. So we appreciate, as fans, do it. Let's do it. All right. Thanks to all of you out there for watching this edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. Next week, if you're out there, we'll be here and we'll try it all again. Have a safe week. Go Nats. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.